A rabbi and a priest meet up after a year not seeing each other. The rabbi goes, "Man, you've put on some weight since last time." Priest, "Yeah, I know. It is a new technique I came up with. You go to a restaurant, eat as much as you can. When the bill comes, you tell them you already paid for it." Rabbi, "Sure, but the waiter won't believe you, right?" Priest, "Of course he won't. That's when you tell him how dare he doubt a man of faith. It usually works and you can leave without paying." Rabbi, "Very nice, I'll be trying this." Later that day, the rabbi goes to his favorite kosher restaurant. After eating 5 plates, the waiter comes up to him with the bill. Rabbi, "Oh, I already paid." Waiter, I'm pretty sure you did not, sir." Rabbi, "You know I'm a rabbi. How dare you doubt a man of faith? I told you, I already paid." Waiter, "So sorry, sir, you are right. It must be some misunderstanding. You're good to go." 15 minutes goes by and the rabbi is still at the table. 30 minutes. 45 minutes. 1 hour, and he is still there. The waiter walks up to him. "Sir, why are you still here?" Rabbi, "Well, I'm waiting for the change."
Two little boys go into the grocery store. One is 9, one is 4. The 9-year-old grabs a box of tampons from the shelf and carries it to the register for checkout. The cashier asks, "Oh, these must be for your mom, huh?" The 9-year-old replies, "Nope, not for my mom." "Oh. Well, they must be for your sister then," says the cashier without thinking. "Nope, not for my sister either," says the boy. The cashier had now become curious. "Oh. Not for your mom and not for your sister, then who are they for?" "They're for my 4-year-old little brother," says the kid calmly. The cashier is surprised. "Your little brother? Why?" The 9-year-old explains, "Well, they say on TV if you wear one of these, you can do lots of stuff like swim, run real fast or ride a bike, and my little brother can't do any of those things."
Three divorced men meet up and talk over beer. "You know, I'm not really enjoying this whole divorce thing," says Bill, sighing. "Me too," says Sam. "I was sure I'd be sowing my wild oats by now. But I've had no wild adventures to speak of." "I hear ya," says Jeremy. "I haven't had one exciting encounter. Even the women I do sleep with never offer anything new or exciting." "Sounds like we all have the same problem," says Bill. "What do you say we find a brothel and make all of our fantasies come true?" The three, now quite inebriated, all think this is an excellent idea, and follow Bill to the nearest brothel. When they get there, Bill goes to the madam and tell her they'd all like to do something special and naughty. She gives him a smile and a wink and all three are led by beautiful women away. An hour later, Bill and Sam meet up in the lobby, both smirking. "Wow," says Sam. "I just the time of my life. That wasn't bad at all." "You have no idea," grins Bill. "She catered to my every fantasy." Suddenly, they both hear a woman scream. "No! No! Anything but that!" Rushing to see what the matter is, they find Jeremy getting dressed while his lady of the night is screaming at him. "Whoa!" says Bill. "What did you ask her to do, you sick bastard?" "I just asked if I could pay with Discover."
A timekeeper at a factory is in charge of blowing the whistle for the lunch break at noon. When it's almost noon, she looks at her watch and right when it strikes 12 p.m. she blows the whistle. One day she bumps her watch against something and she fears that it is a little off. Wanting to make sure that she can do her job correctly, she decides to go get her watch set by a professional clockmaker. The woman goes to the shop and has the clockmaker set her watch to the correct time. She tells the clockmaker what she does for a living and that it is important that her watch keeps correct time. The clockmaker tells her that she needn't worry because he set his watch by the clocks in the back and that he can be sure that they're on time because he sets them every Sunday when the church bells ring at 6 a.m. The woman leaves the shop satisfied, but starts to ask herself, how does the church know exactly when it is 6 a.m.? So she goes to the church and finds the bell ringer and asks him how does he know when to ring the bells and how does he make sure that he has the correct time. The bell ringer tells her that he rings the bells right when his watch strikes 6 a.m. I'm sure my watch is accurate. He reassures her. I check it every day at noon when the factory goes on break.
A soap factory had a problem. They sometimes shipped empty boxes without the bar inside. This challenged their perceived quality with the buyers and distributors. Understanding how important these relationships were, the CEO of the company assembled his top people. 6 months and $8 million later, they had a fantastic solution on time, on budget, and high quality. Everyone in the project was pleased. They solved the problem by using a special scale that would sound a bell and flash lights whenever a soap box weighed less than it should. The line would stop, someone would walk over, remove the defective box, and then press another button to restart the line. As a result of the new package monitoring process, no empty boxes were being shipped out of the factory. A while later, the CEO decides to look at the first week report. Since the scales were put in place, no empty boxes had been shipped out of the factory. Each day about a dozen defective boxes were being removed, which was consistent with the projections. There were almost zero customer complaints, and they were gaining market share. The CEO felt the $8 million was well spent. However, the number of defective boxes picked up by the scales dropped to 0 after 3 weeks. He filed a bug against it, and after some investigation, the engineers came back saying the report was actually correct. The scales really weren't picking up any defects because all boxes that got to that point in the conveyor belt were good. Puzzled, the CEO traveled down to the factory, viewed the part of the line where the precision scale was installed, and observed just ahead of the new $8 million solution sat a $20 desk fan blowing the empty boxes off the belt and into a bin. He asked the line supervisor what that was about. "Oh, that," the supervisor replied. "Bert, the kid from maintenance, put it there because he was tired of walking over, removing the box and restarting the line every time the bell rang."
A trucker came into a truck stop coffee shop and placed his order. He said, I want 3 flat tires, a pair of headlights and pair of running boards. The brand new blonde waitress, not wanting to appear stupid, went to the kitchen and said to the cook, this guy out there just ordered 3 flat tires, a pair of headlights and a pair of running boards. What does he think this place is, an auto parts store? No, the cook said. 3 flat tires mean 3 pancakes, a pair of headlights is 2 eggs sunny side up, and running boards are 2 slices of crisped bacon. Oh, okay, said the blonde. She thought about it for a moment and then spooned up a bowl of beans and gave it to the customer. The trucker asked, what are the beans for, Blondie? She replied, I thought while you were waiting for the flat tires, headlights and running boards, you might as well gas up.
In a small town there lived a gypsy psychic, who was known to read minds, do divinations, etc. One day, she went to shop for clothes. After trying all kinds of outfits, a salesperson approached her and asked if she can bring her some things. Sure, said the psychic, and the girl went to get her dresses. When she came back, the psychic looked at the clothes and then raised an eyebrow. There is no way these will fit me. They are all large. I've been working at this a while, said the salesgirl. Believe me, I think these will fit you. Nope. No way, said the psychic. How do you know if you haven't even tried them on? Said the frustrated girl. Trust me, said the psychic. I'm a medium.
A duck goes into a store and waddles up to the manager. He asks him if he sells duck food. The shopkeeper tells him no. The duck then leaves. The next day the duck returns and asks the same question again. The shopkeeper tells him, testily, that the store still doesn't sell duck food. The duck leaves. The following day the duck returns again and asks the same question. The shopkeeper is getting pissed off, so says no and warns the duck if he asks one more time, he will staple the duck's feet to the floor. The next day the duck goes back into the store. He waddles up to the now red-faced shopkeeper and asks, "Do you sell staples?" "No." The puzzled shopkeeper says. "Great," says the duck. "Do you sell duck food?"
A man goes into a restaurant and is seated. All the waitresses are gorgeous. A particularly beautiful waitress came to his table. "What would you like, sir?" He looks at the menu and then looks at her, then answers, "A quickie." The waitress turns and walks away in disgust. After she regains her composure, she returns and asks again, "What would you like, sir?" Again the man looks at her and answers, "A quickie, please." This time her anger takes over. She reaches over and slaps him across the face with a resounding smack and storms away. A man sitting at the next table leans over and whispers, I think it's pronounced quiche."
Agency, "Sir, we found 3 candidates as per your requirements. How do you want their placements?" Manager, "Put about 100 bricks in a closed room. Then send the candidates into the room and close the door, leave them alone and come back after a few hours and analyze the situation. If they are counting the bricks, put them in accounts department. If they are recounting the bricks, put them in auditing. If they messed up the whole room with the bricks, put them in engineering. If they are arranging the bricks in some strange order, put them in planning. If they are throwing the bricks at each other, put them in operations. If they are sleeping, put them in security. If they broke the bricks into pieces, put them in information technology. If they are sitting idle, put them in human resources. If they say they have tried different combinations yet not a single brick has been moved, put them in sales. If they have already left for the day, put them in marketing. If they are staring out of the window, put them in strategic planning. And if they are talking to each other and not a single brick has been touched, congratulate them and put them in top management.
Lorenzo's law of mechanical repair: once your hands become coated with grease or paint, your nose will begin to itch. Anthony's law of the workshop: any tool, when dropped, will roll to the least accessible corner. Kovac's conundrum: when you dial a wrong number, you never get an engaged tone. Cannon's karmic law: if you tell your boss you were late for work because you had a flat tire, the next morning you will have a flat tire. O'Brien's variation law: if you change cues, the one you have left will start to move faster than the one you are in now. Same goes for car lanes. Bell's theorem: the moment your body is immersed in water, the phone rings. Ruby's principle of close encounters: the probability of meeting someone you know increases when you are with someone you don't want to be seen with. Willoughby's law: when you try to prove to someone that a machine won't work, it will. Zadra's law of biomechanics: the severity of the itch is inversely proportional to the reach. Breda's rule: at any event, the people whose seats are farthest from the aisle arrive last. Owen's law: as soon as you sit down for a hot cup of coffee, someone will want to talk to you until the precise moment your coffee is cold.
A stockbroker walks past a kid selling lemonade. "Hey, mister, you want some lemonade?" a little girl calls to him. The stockbroker is just getting out of his brand new BMW in a nice tailored suit. He was about to walk past when he had double take at the sign that says, lemonade $50. Your sign is wrong, kid. I think you mean 50 cents. The little girl shakes her head. Nope, $50, mister. I need the money for space camp. The stockbroker paused for a minute, because he appreciates a good hustle, but clearly this kid is going about it the wrong way. Look, sweetie, I know you're trying to make money, but you have to charge what people are willing to pay. No one is going to pay that much for a tiny cup of lemonade. Now what do you think is a fair price? The little girl beams and says, $50, mister. The stockbroker gives a little sigh and shakes his head. Okay, I'm gonna pass. You see? You can't make a profit when no one pay your price. Now do you have anything else for sale? Homemade brownies, 50 cents. The stockbroker winces in frustration. Okay, look, I studied economics at Harvard and I got my MBA from Wharton, so I'm going to teach you a little about business, okay? Now each of your little cups of lemonade probably costs you about 50 cents, including the margin cost of your stand. He takes out $1. I'll pay you 10 times that much because I want to help you understand about markup. The little girl shakes her head and smiles. No thanks, mister. $50, please. You know what? I give up. Take this $1 and I'm going to buy 2 of your brownies. I know you're losing money on them, and I'm not going to buy a single cup of your overpriced lemonade. I'm trying to be nice and teach you about business, but I guess this is the only way for you to learn a lesson. Okay. The girl takes the $1 and puts 10 brownies on a plate. Just to make the point, the stockbroker decides to eat one of the brownies right in front of her. Suddenly he begins coughing and gagging uncontrollably. Oh my God, what did you put in these? She grins happily and says it's my special recipe. Eggs, flour, butter, cocoa, sawdust and goat pellets. This is horrible. I have to get this taste out of my mouth. The little girl takes out a jar full of $50 bills, cocks her head to the side and says through a beaming grin, "You want some lemonade?"